Day, October 12th, 2021 at 6 p.m. And I'm going to ask you to stand for the flag salute, and Mr. Allen will lead us tonight.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate and electronic notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board in the Beach Haven Municipal Building, on the Borough website, and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Allen.
Here.
Mrs. Ballmiller.
Here.
Dr. Davis.
Here.
Mrs. Rutherford.
Here.
Mayor Lambert.
Here. Okay, tonight we have a couple of special presentations. The first up is the Compassion Cafe, and just by word of introduction, Sue Sharkey asked if she could speak to the council, and I think unless you were off planet this summer, you are familiar with the Compassion Cafe, and truthfully, there aren't enough superlatives for what they accomplished in their first season. I've known Sue Engel Sharkey and her family for over 50 years, and Sue has always been a shaker, a mover, and a doer. I don't know Erin, she's not here tonight, but I'm sure from the Sharkey family and being her co-founder that she has the same attributes. And just what they committed to with this undertaking was incredible, and what they achieved even more so. It was a unique business model, and it was a leap of faith to get it off the ground. They made it successful, to put it mildly. Their amazing staff, the incredible workers, the volunteers, the board of directors, their entire support group really made this an overwhelming success. A special shout out goes to the Baxter family from Barry's Do Me a Flavor, who readily loaned their business and welcomed them with open arms. Also, the Terrace United Methodist Church, Pastor Scott Boswick and Dina Schwarzel, who were very instrumental in letting them use the kitchen and the church facilities in general. Next year, they're going to be at their new location, the Seashell, Beach and Resort Club. And I hope everybody makes it up there for the sophomore season. And they're also having a tournament at the end of the month, their annual striped bass fishing tournament, and all the proceeds go to the Compassion Cafe. So if you can make it, that's on Halloween from 12 to 4. That would be awesome. So without any further ado, Sue, would you please come up?
Thank you, Mayor. Sue Sharkey, and as of yesterday, I'm now permanently residing on 10 North Delaware. Yay, finally, I'm back. Finally back. So Compassion Cafe simply wanted to say to the borough, as well as our customers, just a thank you. We've spent a summer of gratitude and being so thankful for everything that happened. And we started opening day, and we were, Donna Marie made a great mercantile license, and we just felt the blessing of Beach Haven all throughout, even when we had this crazy conception back, and I presented it to Barry and Nicole back in October. We felt the support of Beach Haven, and Beach Haven really did kind of hold us in their hand and nurture it through, it was all a brand new adventure. So we simply just wanted to say thank you, and as well to the customers. Many of them are here. So tonight we have some people that maybe would like to speak, but represented are volunteers, and they're out in full force. So you can tell they really want to volunteer and do things. So you're going to see us again. I can't say bigger and better because it can't be any bigger and better, but we're not going away. And thank you for the plug about the Derby Halloween weekend. We'll also be at the Queen City Fall Fest, which is the 24th, Sunday, 12 to 4. Yes, thank you for affirming that. And besides having a little table, I think we're going to also do some group line dances, and they're open for everybody and easy to join in. So that's just a little plug. So I don't know if any of the volunteers or parents are going to speak, but everybody is very thankful. But they don't have to. But Grace, you're going to speak as a staff member. Okay.
Hi, thank you for supporting us at Compassion Cafe, and I hope
you guys can come to see us next year. And I hope you have a nice week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Grace Weidenhoff. Colleen is going to say a few words. Yes?
Thank you for all you do in my job. I'm happy to work. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'd like to invite Kenny, who's going to, he has a prepared speech from Kenny, but appropriate from all of us. Thank you.
We would all like to say thank you to the town of Beach Haven and customer for supporting Sue, Aaron, the team at Compassion Cafe, and all staff. Working and learning with everyone made our job fun and a great place to make friends. We all appreciate the Beach Haven Borough Council and also Barry and Nicole for letting Compassion Cafe be a part of the community. We are all looking forward to next year. Having this great summer job on LBI made me and my co-workers more independent and proud to be a part of this town. We are grateful to you all.
Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Sue, before you run away, if you just hang on 1 minute. Sue actually made this easy for us because we were trying to figure out, she wanted to thank the town of Beach Haven. The Beach Haven people, Borough Council, the Compassion Cafe, a huge thank you for all the great vibes, positive publicity, and just the wonderful job they did. So we do have letters of recognition for Sue and Aaron. I know Aaron's not here, so we're going to entrust that to you. And I'd like to read what the letter said for the benefit of everybody. The Beach Haven Borough Council is honored and privileged to recognize the Compassion Cafe for its outstanding inaugural season. The co-founders of this unique business, Sue Sharkey and Aaron Sharkey, realized there was a general lack of employment and vocational opportunity for persons with special needs who have aged out of the school-based and other programs. They proceeded to work tirelessly to establish a business model that would address these needs. The Compassion Cafe officially opened its doors on May 17th, 2021, to a rousing welcome from family, friends, and supporters who all wished this fledgling operation well. No one there that day had any idea of the incredible success this venture would achieve. True to their original intent, this not-for-profit enterprise was never about making money, but instead providing the opportunity for its employees to build confidence as they learned important life skills. Sue, Aaron, their amazing staff, the incredible volunteers, their wonderful board of trustees, the Baxter family, the Terrace United Methodist Church, along with many service providers, quickly became a very close-knit group, indeed, a family. The Compassion Cafe immediately gained local attention, and it wasn't long before they gained national prominence as well, thanks to television journalists such as Stephanie Rule and Ted Greenberg. However, the real stars were the awesome staff, who regularly treated their customers, you can give yourselves a round, who regularly treated their customers to excellent service, as well as songs by Elvis, Sinatra, Martin, and various other celebrities, along with recitations during open mic times. Payday, a popular occasion for everyone, reached new heights at the Compassion Cafe, as checks were excitedly distributed to each individual, accompanied by a round of applause by all present. As Sue Sharkey liked to say, it's the happiest place on earth. Disney World, beware. The greatest accomplishment, however, was evident on their closing day when one employee after another took the opportunity to tell the assembled crowd that the friends they made, the skills they developed, the socialization they experienced, and the life-changing moments they enjoyed this past summer went beyond their wildest dreams. There is no price tag in the world that can be placed on these immeasurable achievements. The Compassion Cafe's mission statement says, and I quote, "To provide meaningful employment and job training for adolescents and adults with disabilities. The Beach Haven Borough Council and the citizens of Beach Haven offer a heartfelt thank you to Sue Sharkey, Aaron Sharkey, and their entire organization, and proudly say, mission accomplished, and so much more." Thank you. And thank you to all the volunteers who helped with all the info.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, he's saying, you come stand right here. Go over there. Now she can see you.
Hi.
There you are. Sure. Can you see yourself?
Hi, Kenny. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm so sorry. I'm at school. See the skeleton behind me? I'm still at school. Kenny was one of my former biology students, so I know Kenny very well. But I'm stuck at school tonight.
Yeah. So I guess a final day at school and I missed you.
I miss you too. Thank you so much. You did an awesome job tonight. It takes a lot to speak in front of everybody. Good job, Kenny. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night. Well, that's a tough act to follow, but I guess we need to move on with the meeting. We have a second presentation tonight, and this one will take a different tack. There are many of you have been asking about what's going on with the wind turbine project, and our local resident expert, Dr. Bob Stern, is here to give us an update on the offshore wind project. So, Dr. Stern, thank you.
Okay, you're right. That is a tough act to follow. And I guess what I'm going to be talking about is a little less happy. But there are things you need to be made aware of as this project is proceeding. The federal agency has just started its environmental impact statement. And the project they're proposing is up to 200 wind turbines off of Beach Haven and Holgate, not off of the entire island yet, but off of us and Holgate and Little Egg. And typically, this environmental impact statement takes about 18 months to 2 years to do. Once that's done, they can make a decision and move forward. So in 2 years, if things go the way they're going, you could start to see barges coming out of Delaware Bay and putting down wind turbines off the shore, which are 3 football fields high, which is almost impossible to even envision. But so I'm going to summarize what I think the bad things are about this project, which I think you have not heard. There's been a lot of stuff put out there. I think much of it has not been really on point. So just to summarize, this project is not what I would call normal or typical in any sense. Regarding the visibility of it, it would be the most visible wind turbine complex in the world using the larger turbines of today. And I know that, it probably sounds like I'm exaggerating, like I'm making this up. I wish I were. That is true. All the other wind projects that are being planned are further offshore. The one off LBI would be the closest on the planet. Beyond that, we're doing things like obstructing migration of critically endangered whales and birds. And based on previous studies where people are shown visual images that would be comparable to what we see, the result is always reduced property values, tourism, rentals. So there is likely to be a staggering impact on the economy. So just to give you a little more detail, this project would start placing turbines just 9 miles off the Holgate, about 12 miles off of Beach Haven. As I said, it would be the most visible wind turbine complex in the world. The turbines are huge. They're 3 football fields high. Each blade is a football field long. They will be clearly visible almost all the time. And any source that tells you differently must have had a very hard time with geometry in high school, because that is not true. Beyond the visible impact, which is, as I said, extreme, the turbines are going to block the migration of the North Atlantic right whale. It's a critically endangered whale. It migrates in a corridor right off of this lease area, about 20 miles out to 32 miles out. The noise from these turbines will permeate that entire corridor with noise levels above that, based on what the federal government has said, will disturb its behavior. Disturbing its behavior can mean a lot of things, but it mostly means they're going to try to avoid the noise, but there's no place for them to go. If the entire corridor is blocked by high noise levels, you're effectively blocking their migration. This is not sensible stuff for a federal agency to be proposing. And then it gets worse, guys. The fin and humpback whales, we had a stranding of a fin whale just recently, had to bury it on the beach. The fin and humpback whales hang out about 11 miles offshore. So the noise from the wind turbines up close are going to drive them away from that towards the shore. And unfortunately, the noise follows them all the way to the shore. There's no escape from the shore, from the noise. So now you're forcing another endangered whale close to shore, no place else to go. Figure it out what's going to happen to those whales. And then finally, to top this off, we have our own piping plover. We've spent years trying to allow that bird to recover in the National Wildlife Refuge in Holgate, as well as some spots in Barnegat Light. And now that bird, that 7-inch bird, is going to have to cross this wind turbine complex to get to those nesting sites. And it is very likely, based on some estimates that we've done, that 30% of them are going to die while they try to do that. So again, you look at this stuff and it is just not sensible. It is not reasonable for a federal agency to be pursuing things like this, particularly when there are other options offshore, further offshore. So, we've tried to meet with these folks. We actually have a monthly meeting with the federal agency staff, and we bring these things up, and, nothing phases them. One of my colleagues who's on the call, Wendy Kuba, she asked a great question at our last meeting. She asked the federal staff, what is it, if not any of these issues, that would cause them to have second thoughts about this project? And there was stone cold silence. There is nothing that you can bring to these folks that will get them to change course. So we have concluded the only way we're going to get a good shot at getting this project altered, and by that I mean moving the turbines further out where they can't be seen and they will do much less environmental damage, and then just using this current area to transmit the power to shore. The only way we're going to do that is by going to court. We have explored a lot of legal options. I think we have some good legal options. We have retained an experienced attorney, and we are pursuing that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Just to give you a little background on myself and our group, before I retired, I used to do this kind of stuff for the federal government. I managed the office in the Department of Energy. That's a different department than what we're dealing with here. But the Department of Energy had many environmental projects, and it was my job to see that the environmental impact statements were done right and that that department was complying with environmental laws. So look, you know, my wife tells me I know everything, but I don't think that's really sincere. But one thing I do know, I know when an energy project is being rolled out to the public properly and when it's not. And when I saw how this project was being rolled out in terms of the misinformation, in terms of the lack of any federal staff present, any state staff present, it was just offensive to me. So I put an ad in the sandpaper. I pointed out some of these problems. I got a tremendous response. I got like 50 phone calls from people who said that, you know, they weren't aware of what's going on, so on and so forth. So we started this group called the LBI Coalition for Wind Without Impact. We've got a great group of people, and we're focused on this project, trying to get it changed. We're nonpartisan. We're not getting into any politics. We're not trying to make any candidates look good or bad. It's got nothing to do with this. We have a 501c3 tax status, so any donations are tax deductible. So look, the bottom line here is, you know, we're kind of running out of time. You probably heard a lot of things. A lot of it may be confusing, but frankly, it's time, in our view, to get off the fence. And if you're concerned about this project, give us some help in terms of donations to pay the lawyers. We have enough funding to start, but I want to have enough funding to finish that lawsuit. And if you also want to donate any of your personal time, we have lots of work to do, administrative tasks, technical tasks, and so on. So there are many ways you can donate. You can go to our website, savelbi, that's one word, .org. There's more information on there, as well as many options to contribute to the effort. So I would urge you, if you have concerns about this, to step up now and give us your help. I guess I'll leave it at that. I don't know if you want to have time for some questions. I'd be glad to answer a few if you want.
Thank you, Dr. Stern. Does anybody have any questions? Please raise your virtual hand. Or anybody in the room have any? We always start with the room first, but our audience shrunk considerably. Anybody on Zoom have any questions for Dr. Stern?
I don't see any hands up.
Okay, Dr. Stern, I think.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the update. Take care.
I have some information for you. We'll start with the revenue and finance report. Cash receipts in the current fund account for the period of September 1st to September 30th, 2021 were $6,129,583.13. Cash disbursements in the current fund account for the month of September totaled $819,543.03. Cash balance in the current fund account as of this period totaled $14,487,806.50. Cash receipts in the water utility account for the period of September 1st to September 30th, 2021 were $5,009.52. Cash disbursements in the water utility account for the month of September totaled $22,691.68. And the cash balance in the water utility account as of September 30th was $4,042,558.19. I did have a chance today to sit down and talk with Sherry Bowler about what we've seen in the newspapers lately about the forgiveness of the community disaster loan. So I just wanted to talk briefly about that. Our auditor, Bob Allison, worked directly with the New Jersey legislators to try to push this through, to draft the bill that would forgive the community disaster loans from Sandy. And that bill was successfully approved last Thursday. The original use of the loans were to recoup any lost revenue after Sandy and to allow the borough to maintain its reserves. And the borough was granted $1.8 million from that loan program. So all along, we had an idea that it could be forgiven in full or partially. At one point, we were directed to start making payments, and upon the advice of our auditor, the borough has been appropriating payments. We've appropriated about $370,000 annually. But we're holding off on actually paying the bill. We've been just setting it in reserves. So that means with this now forgiven, the borough will see an immediate relief in our 2022 budget. We will not need to make that $370,000 appropriation that we were setting aside. So we'll immediately see that relief. And the amount that has already been placed into that reserves will then roll over into, into the,
Surplus.
Yeah, so we roll over from the reserves into the surplus. Mm-hmm. And we use surplus annually to fund the budget, to balance the budget, fund the budget. So hopefully that answers some questions about the amounts and how it will affect the borough immediately and long term.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have minutes for approval tonight, September 13th, 2021, regular meeting.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from September 13th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Ordinances, ordinance 2021-32C, an ordinance amending chapter 212 zoning of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, related to permitted and prohibited uses in the BD district. This was tabled on September 13th. The date we chose was tonight, October 12th. And I believe, did you have a statement or did you want me to talk?
No, you can go ahead. I think you have all the.
At this point, I think that it might be best to table it indefinitely. We are working to schedule a special meeting of the full council, the community members, the business stakeholders, and the professionals that we have on staff to start to look at our options, to look at the pros and cons of each option, and try to find a direction that would be palatable for all. So I think, is that the best direction?
Yeah, so we just need a motion to table it indefinitely, and that would
Okay.
effectively kill this version of.
Okay. Is there a motion to table 2021-32C?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ballmiller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford.
Yes.
Mayor Lambert.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-34C, an ordinance amending Chapter 95, Fire Prevention of the Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, as it pertains to the Uniform Fire Safety Act enforcement. The purpose is to extend the deadline for inspections and to increase fees for inspections after the deadline. Final reading.
Since it is the final reading, it's open to public comment. Please hold your comments to 3 minutes, and we'll start with the room first and then go to Zoom. Is there anybody who'd like to comment? No? On Zoom?
Susan Fairley.
Hi, this is Suzanne Fairley, 219 Jeffries Beach Haven. My comment was actually raised earlier when Dr. Stern was talking, and it's concerning Dr. Stern and his presentation. So is it better to talk now or to save it for later?
Is he still on? How would you like to?
I would suggest we just finish the hearing on
Okay.
this ordinance and close that ordinance out, and then we could go back to the
Okay.
question. and
Okay,
Dr.
good.
Stern.
Thank you.
All right, Suzanne, there you go, perfect. Anyone else on Zoom would like to make a comment about this ordinance? Seeing none?
Okay, close the floor to public comment. Is there a motion to approve 2021-34C?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ballmiller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes.
Okay, Suzanne, you can unmute yourself, and Dr. Stern, you're still on, I see. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. For Dr. Stern, has there been any attempt, because this has such major repercussions, not just for Beach Haven, but for the piping plover, for the whales, for so many other things that are happening, and it is the largest potential wind turbine farm in the country. Has there been any attempt to get national attention, like a 60 Minutes show or Sierra Club or others, to help us in making this more visible to what's happening? Because once it starts, you can't turn it off. Is that a possibility or not?
Yeah, those are certainly possibilities. We did try to get some time or some interest with some of the journalists on CNN, MSNBC, sent some emails, did not get a response. I have been in contact with some of the traditional, some of the environmental groups like the Natural Resource Defense Council and others who I thought would be very concerned about the issues regarding the right whale and the fin and humpback whales especially, because they have in the past been very vocal on those. And they are not being as vocal and active now because I believe they feel that these offshore wind projects are going to help with climate change. So it's been a little disappointing, frankly, in their reaction. It has not been the same as I would have expected. And unfortunately, I don't believe, and this is another issue, but I don't believe these projects really are going to help climate change. But there's been a little difficulty with getting the traditional environmental groups to be supportive. I have shared some of this information recently with the, I think it's called the, I'm getting the name wrong, but it's the Conservation Society that do a lot of work in purchasing land and preserving it. And I do have a contact there, and they have now gotten interested in the noise issue. And I expect they will be commenting and supporting what I've been saying here in their comments on this initial notice that the Bureau put out. But so far, frankly, the reaction of the traditional environmental groups has been mixed. But we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying and pressing them on the issue of noise. It's rather new issue because we're talking now about the noise from the operation of the turbines as opposed to the noise when you install them. And so previously, when they were talking about small turbines, the operational noise was not that bad. But with the large turbines, it is bad.
It's
But
horrible.
we'll keep pressing, and we'll try some more to engage, the national media. If you have any suggestions regarding particular correspondence that we might call, please let me know. You can go to the website. There's opportunity to
Right.
email us and call us. Absolutely.
I wish I did know, but I think within Beach Haven, there are lots of people that are very powerful. Different journalists that live on the town. So maybe if we put something in the sandpaper saying, do you know of anybody that can give us more PR about this? And asking, who do you know? And somebody might come through that way.
We can do that.
Is that a possibility?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be glad to do that.
And I'll be signing up to help.
Thank
But
you.
thank you for all that
Thank
you're
you.
doing. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right,
Okay.
moving on then.
Mhm.
Ordinance 2021-35, bond ordinance authorizing various capital improvements and acquisitions in and for the borough of Beach Haven in the county of Ocean, state of New Jersey, appropriating $810,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $417,000 bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof. Final reading.
Since it is a final reading, it's open to public comment. Please let us know if you're interested in commenting.
No
No?
hands?
Okay, seeing none. Is there a motion to approve 2021-35?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-36, amendment to bond ordinance number 2013-15, finally adopted by the Borough of Beach Haven in the County of Ocean, State of New Jersey on October 15, 2013, as amended by bond ordinance number 2020-21, finally adopted on October 13, 2020, to increase the appropriation therein by $600,000 and authorizing the issuance of $570,000 additional bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof. Final reading.
Open to public comment. Anybody care to do so?
No hands?
No hands. All right. Is there a motion to approve 2021-36?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-37, bond ordinance authorizing various water system improvements by the water utility in and for the Borough of Beach Haven in the County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, appropriating $510,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $510,000 bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof. Final reading.
Open to public comment at this time.
Seeing none?
None. Is there a motion to approve 2021-37?
So moved.
Is there,
Second.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
yes.
Ordinance 2021-39C, an ordinance amending Chapter 57, Beach Protection, Article 1, Protection of Beaches and Dunes of the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, to require private dune walkovers extend to the flat beach and that debris is removed timely after a storm event. First reading.
Okay, since first reading, there is no public comment. Is there a motion to approve 2021-39C?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford,
Yes.
Mayor Lambert.
Yes.
All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Resolution 189, returning park bonds. 192, returning piling bonds. 193 is authorizing the reevaluation of project limits for the 2020 road reconstruction improvement project for 8th Street and Delaware Avenue. We're actually expanding the project area. And 194 is authorizing an affordable housing down payment assistance loan repayment agreement with the owner of an affordable housing unit located at 510 North Bay Avenue, Unit 201.
Are there any questions or concerns about the resolutions? No? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball-Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes.
I have a bill list this evening in the amount of $3,008,687.30.
Okay, I guess everybody had a chance to look it over. I know a lot of our taxes, school payments were due. That's why the number was rather large.
A lot of the budget appropriations, donations, and things that we appropriate every year went out this month.
Yeah, it was a big one. Any questions or concerns? No. Is there a motion to approve the bills?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball-Miller?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes. All right, we're here to public comment, and the floor is now open to anybody who has anything at all. Please limit it to 3 minutes. And as always, we start with the room. Anybody in the room? No? All right, anybody on Zoom?
Any member on Zoom wish to be heard during this public comment session, you can raise an electronic hand. It's under your participants tab. Or you can unmute yourself and make yourself heard. Seeing none.
All right, seeing none, we'll close the floor to public comment, and we'll go to final remarks by council. And I believe, Mr. Allen, you kick us off this time around.
Okay, I actually have a few things to say. First off, I think Kite Fest was exciting, and I think people that are still here are excited to see the blinking yellow lights.
Yeah.
But, the other thing I wanted to bring to the attention of the town and the council is there's a discussion at the federal level about our Coast Guard station in Beach Haven, that they're given serious consideration for budgetary reasons to closing it. I voiced my opposition to Tapman Marina, but from a safety standpoint, talking with the chief in Barnegat Light, any emergency in our area would take an hour and a half for either Atlantic City or Barnegat Light to be able to respond to. He said, basically, we're kind of in the middle of a zone where the state police run through maybe once every 2 weeks, and they're about it as far as law enforcement is safety and protection. So I think it would be a very detrimental thing to our community if that were to be the case. And I'd like to start the conversation with maybe the higher ups, the senators, the Congress people, about why this is a terrible idea. The station chief has also expressed his opinion that operationally it's a bad idea. Case in point being the accident a few weeks ago in the middle of the night. I guess some of the people were seriously injured, and it might have been a more tragic outcome if they hadn't been at the station at the time. They were able to get on site quick, and I think they themselves pulled 5 people out of the water. And I had talking with the crew members, they said one of them, if he had to wait much longer, might not have been so lucky. So there's that. And on a little bit of a happier note, again, kind of relating to that, if any of you get a chance, go up to Holyoke Ave. There is an enormous channel marker sitting on the jetty down there. If you don't know. It's probably about 12 feet tall. Yeah, it's huge. It's pretty neat. I would give that a look if you have a chance. And outside of that, I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I talk more than I used to do, so I'll leave it up.
Okay.
Is this something that you could help us write a resolution that we could share with our island towns to get some support in Ocean County? This is something that we definitely need to rally some support for. We need to do it in an official way, and we need to do it fast.
This affects Tuckerton, this affects
Right.
the entire Bay Area down here.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you guys speak in the microphone a little
Sorry.
better?
Yeah, I mean, this affects the entire Bay Area down here, from Mystic Island all the way up to the bridge to Stockton. I think, Mayor Mancini should be informed if he doesn't already know. It affects his township, just as much as it does us. So, and just from having them, on site at the marina, I know what these guys do. And, they're on call 24 hours a day. They're a great group of people, and we're very fortunate to have them still here. I think we should try and fight to keep them here.
Yeah, great.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, thank you. Mrs. Baumiller?
Hi, hello, thank you. Just keeping it short because I do have my 8th grade information night starting at 7 o'clock. So I'm still here at school tonight. But thank you to the Compassion Cafe. I know that they're probably gone by now, but I love how you explained Sue as a shaker, mover, and a doer. I'm going to use that in my in my future speeches at school. And also thank you to Dr. Stern for your update, and everybody for coming. And Dan, thanks for that information. I know that we were working last year trying to, keep the Coast Guard station active. So hopefully we can move forward with that with the help from the neighboring municipalities, because it is such a vital place for everyone that lives here on the water. Other than that, that's it for me.
Thank you. Dr. Davis?
I totally support what Dan said, and I have worked diligently over the years to try to keep that Coast Guard station going. And I think Sherry and we've talked to so many people, and we have to continue this fight. We can't let it go. And I think your example, this most recent accident, is another very good reason why we need to have this facility. And it does protect many of us, and not just Beach Haven. And at one time, I did try to talk with some of our assembly people about what could they do to help us, and I think we have to get back to that again. Well, I was advised not to do that a while ago, but maybe we need to rally the troops some more and get more people outside of Beach Haven on our side. To keep this going. And I'm like you, it's great seeing these yellow blinking lights. That's really brightened my day this morning. So that's good.
6:30 in the morning.
Okay, Mrs. Rutherford. Thank you, Dr. Davis.
Yeah, I just wanted to also just thank Compassion Cafe, Sue and Aaron Sharkey, for all their efforts that went into planning and implementing Compassion Cafe in its inaugural year. They poured into our community, into the lives of many here and beyond this community. It was just so great to talk to people who were excited to come and see. They showed their true servant-hearted nature, and I applaud them in that. So I was bummed that she didn't stay. But also too, wanted to just notify everyone that Beach Haven PTA is hosting the Halloween parade next weekend and trunk or treat Friday the 22nd. It starts at Veterans Park at 5:30 with the parade, which is always a big fun hit here in town. We're excited to have that back again. So other than that, everyone else talked about Queen City Fest and the Straight Bass Tournament. So enjoy all the fun that our town has to offer. Go out and support our businesses and our community. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. So that just leaves me, and everybody's done such a nice job, and thank you for bringing the Coast Guard up. And I just kind of wanted to shill a little bit for Save LBI. I think it's very, very important that everybody gets involved. I mean, once they're in, and that's going to be it. And again, it's not political. It's just a matter of relocating them. And the Compassion Cafe, also, please go to their website to donate. Go to the Seashell. There's a lot of good things going on in town, and please try to come out and support everything. Thank you.
I have one question. Are the lights off?
Yes.
Yes. Quicker ride home.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I guess we are adjourned.
Oh, I need a motion.
Oh, motion to adjourn.
So
So,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.